your goals, a lot of your ambitions, and trying to catch up in a lot of the work that you've been meaning to do. Spend more time with the family, get some yard work done, whatever you can. I'm hopefully there's some positivity coming your way in some way, shape, or form. All I want to do is be positive, man. It's all about the mindset. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be crazier, but at the same time, keep your mindset strong, stock up, do your thing. That's all I got to say. All right, much love. So check this out. Now this video with me going live. Looks like there's some people signing up. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? That's cool. So check this out. So this video right here, as you can see, is about Big Cat Rescue. All right, Big Cat Rescue is one of our clients, and we've been working with Big Cat Rescue for over 3 years. Now, what's ironic about this video is that I don't know if you've seen this or not, but if you go to Netflix right now, the #1 documentary and the #1 show, #1 video on Netflix is Tiger King. All right. Well, guess who's on Tiger King? Big Cat Rescue. Our friends, Carol and Howard. Now, we've been working with Big Cat Rescue for over 3 years now. They are amazing in our eyes. And since we've been to that property probably about a good 20 to 30 times, if not more, we've worked with them for 3 years. And I love Carol and Howard. That's just my honest truth. I think they're incredible. I think they're smart. I think they're passionate. And I know they love what they're doing. And they're very, very passionate of their goal and their nonprofit, Big Cat Rescue. And I'm a huge fan of them. I just got to say, it is absolutely crazy. It is a very interesting documentary. I highly recommend it. And it definitely is going to shine a lot of light on what they're doing and their purpose and their mission. And some of the stories that you're going to hear are definitely pretty interesting. But I'll tell you what, over here, fans in Tampa, being that they're a client of ours, we love them. Now, how we started working with them, now what this is this is a video about virtual reality, okay? Now, what we were doing is how we started working with them is they recently reached out. Now, what I did is I had this dope article, from the Tampa Bay Business Journal where they did an article with a good friend of mine now, Alexis. I think Alexis is amazing. Shout out. Thank you so much for this. But basically, this was a article in regards to my company and what we do from a virtual reality perspective. We were doing a lot of VR content and we were trying to tell stories. And in 2017, we were really trying to get the message out there in regards to, how powerful virtual reality can be for marketing and for businesses. So Carol and Howard, Mr. Baskin and Miss Baskin, they reached out to us in regards to how would we be able to use virtual reality with Big Cat Rescue for our nonprofit. We're really looking into it. We weren't sure how to. Would you be able to? Hey, I got to sign up. I think this was another site. I don't want the newsletter yet because I already got it. Um, and so basically we did the article and they reached out to us. They reached out to me, and what I did is I set up a meeting. I went there with my team and we started having a conversation in regards to how would we be able to shoot content and what kind of content. And they told me that their goal was to create an educational, somewhat like a bus, an educational bus, so they can go around and teach and educate on their mission of a nonprofit, and they wanted to use virtual reality. So what we did is I was talking about all the different, going through their property is absolutely beautiful, and they take the most immense care of their big cats, and I can tell you that right now. I mean, there is nothing that it's an amazing place, and that's just from my own personal opinion. Nothing but love. I've seen it, like I said, 25, 30 times. I've been there very, very close, and you'll see that it's just, I love Big Cat Rescue, okay? So this is kind of like our personal story, our personal opinion. It's crazy, but it is what it is. Check out the documentary. So what we did is we went to Big Cat Rescue and we discussed using VR content and marketing. And so what I was like is whenever she was guiding us around, it was a personalized guided tour where she was taking us around and telling a story about each individual big cat. Now, no matter if it was a leopard, a lion, Joseph the lion, rest in peace. Whatever their story was, there's so Manny the jaguar. There's so many different not characters, forgive me, so many different names and stories that come with every single big cat. And she was so passionate about the story and where they came from and just taking care of them and just trying to give them a good place and just wanted to make them happy. And she would go on for a good 4 or 5 minutes about each individual. Her and Howard would go on about each individual big cat and their story and where they came from and how they were abused and how I still got chills right now. like the way that she would talk and the passion that would come behind her and Howard discussing each one of these big cats. I was like, man, you have a story in each one of those. I was like, we need to tell that story for every single one of those cats. And I need you to tell that story because she has such a presence on social media that I was like, we need to create what would be amazing is to create a story for each individual big cat. Each individual big cat has a story. And so what we would do is we'd have Carol in virtual reality with a 360 camera discuss, and of course have sound and lighting and just a good natural environment, and have her one-on-one with the camera and discussing and telling the story of each individual big cat. And what you would do is you would have the story go on, and it would be each individual video. So then I was like, in order to take as many assets and try to consult with her to show her how much content she could come up with doing this, I discussed that you can have all these individual VR experiences and telling stories of each individual big cat. Then what you can do is, since I do 360 interactive virtual tours, I said, how incredible would it be is to create a 360 interactive experience. I'm trying to switch to it right now. How much for a 360 interactive experience in regards to okay, right here, sorry. Right here. So VR, this is one of my secret weapons that I highly recommend from a VR perspective. It's called VEER. This is where a lot of our content is. This is where a lot of our there's a lot of really good virtual reality content on here. And this is one of our friends. I'm actually friends with the owner of VR. Before he even was released to the public, I was one of the first people to get on it, and they used my content at the Facebook 8 or something like that premiere. They used all my content on the premiere of this right here. So it's like it's really cool. There's a lot of history with me in VR, and I love them, and I love them, and I highly recommend them. So what I did is I introduced Big Cat Rescue to VR in regards to uploading all of their content. So right here it says, Big Cat Rescue, nonprofit sanctuary for lions, tigers, and other big cats. We love our partners, Virtual Marketing 360. Got to show some love right there. And so what we did is we helped them create all of this virtual reality content. And what it is you have this virtual tour. This is like a VR experience. So I was like, how incredible would it be to create a VR experience and be able to tell stories within the virtual reality experience? So it'll make a lot more sense. Now you can do this on your home of your computer. It looks like I'm lagging here, so if I am, I do apologize. I need to get that Wi-Fi up. So give me a second. I'm so sorry. So basically what this is it's going to be an experience. And so we took every single one of those individual stories, and we had Carol as the voiceover, but she was actually there, but it was the sound, of course, making the experience. And what you would do is you'd be in a VR headset, and you would be able to navigate around the sanctuary and go from big cat to big cat. And once you would navigate, you would look around, and with your joystick, or you would be able to look and stare at each individual. You'll see like the icon right here. Let's start here. Okay, click on a big cat. There we go. And so it says, so you have all these different options. So what you would do is you'd be able to stare at, say, Manny the Jaguar, or let's go right here. Let's click on Manny the Jaguar, and it will take you. Now remember, you could do this in a VR headset as well. So whenever you would take you to a VR headset, this would be a virtual reality experience of her explaining with editing, going through the video. You would see like the graphics on there. And then she's going to start speaking and telling you the story about Manny the Jaguar. And I was actually there whenever they were. It's lagging really, really bad, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to turn this off just so this doesn't ruin it. I'm going to come back to it. But I really want you to check it out, and I want you to see what we're able to do. And hopefully that kind of gives you some perspective of what it is and what it's doing. It's just lagging really bad. I'm sorry. So anyways, so with that being said, like, what we just created experiences, and I was saying that we could take each individual one of those contents, put it into a full VR interactive experience where you're also educating anybody who were to go into VR. You're creating a wow factor. You can take it to trade shows. You could create this for an educational bus that you can do for virtual reality. You can go to schools, you can go to different areas and teach and educate and make it feel like you're actually right there in the cage. And if it wasn't so laggy right now, and I apologize, that internet, man, I got some good internet, but something's wrong. Anyways, no excuses, no excuses. All about solutions. So basically what we were doing is she was then trying to take the VR content and maximizing it as much as possible because they're so cool. And so what you would see here on Facebook is you would see her use all of these same videos, but doing the vets. She would have all these like where they would have surgeries, and she would put it in VR. So you're actually right there with the vets looking as they're doing surgery on the cats, which is very interactive, which is really cool. Excuse me. Everything is good. Okay. Gotta get some coffee. Crazy. Excuse me. All right. All right. And so let's see here. So basically, she would use all that content, and then she was using all that content, and then got a little nervous there. She'd use all that content and use it on virtual reality and use it on Facebook. So whenever you would click this on Facebook, it's a 360 video that you can look on your phone, on an iPad, or even on your desktop computer, or if you were to go to the VR app, you can watch all this stuff in virtual reality as well. Okay, so it was something that was very powerful, and what we did is we were able to consult with them and show them different ways to use the virtual reality content and how to use it for marketing purposes and how to create the content, what the content would be engaging, and what kind of content would be engaging for their customers and their donators for the ability to be engaged and feel something and be able to tell a story and tell their mission in virtual reality. And so we were able to help create and navigate them and give them a good direction of how to create the content, why they're creating the content, what stories to tell, and how to maximize that in regards to showing that to their fans and also people that don't know anything about their mission and about how to educate them with virtual reality using their content. Does that make sense? I mean, that was a full circle, but I know what I was talking about because it's all trying to consult, educate, and help other businesses, help them use VR in what their mission is, and how it's every single company, no matter who you're working with, is going to be very personalized. Everything's a personalized mission and a personalized VR experience based off of what they're doing. So that's how we were able to help them. And whenever, especially with Big Cat Rescue, one thing that you guys got to understand is this is not a zoo. This is a sanctuary. They have scheduled guided tours, so it's very specific. And so a lot of people come there all the time because, of course, like it's a big deal in Tampa. So a lot of people there's a lot of foot traffic. Well, they don't want to disturb the cats. They don't want to bother them. This is a natural habitat. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but you know what I mean? This is what they do. And so like they don't want to bother them. They're really good with this. Like they're very smart on what they're doing, as in like they really care, okay? And so what that means is that, there's a guided tour, so there's a lot of foot traffic. So they have a beautiful information center at the very front where people can go in. They can, buy shirts and items and, calendars and stuff like that. And they have a waiting room for guided tours. Well, what we talked about and what we helped them with, which they're doing now, is they have VR headsets out there. So whenever people are waiting or in case they want to check it out in regards to not being able to do a guided tour, what they're able to do is be able to have that same experience, or at least have the educational tool to be able to have access to whenever customers or foot traffic actually go to the place and go to the location. If they don't have access to it, it's a good way to still be able to tell their message, give that foot traffic and their customer base an ability to feel something and to be able to tell their story and to have something interactive for them. And it's a really cool wow factor. And it's a good tool for them to use, like I said, to educate, to teach, and to put as much information out there for their nonprofit to gather as much attention as possible for the Big Cat Rescue. So we talked about doing that and literally creating content to put in like a 360 dome so people can go out and literally put on a VR headset and just like literally look in a 360 dome. And that's some stuff that I'm working on right now as well. So So what we did is after we were able to create all of that content, virtual reality content, that it goes on and on, where we literally have terabytes worth of data in regards to how much data we have for virtual reality content at the Big Cat Rescue. They have terabytes. It's their data. I mean, it's crazy what we have access to in regards to how much content is out there in VR, and it's all in here. You can see it. You can see the amazing interactive experiences that are available. But it's something that what we did is, because it's a nonprofit, because they're such great friends of ours, what we did is we came in there, and what we did is we taught and we consulted and we educated them from a business perspective about how to use virtual tours and help them and use virtual tours, help them use virtual reality, help them use the VR content in regards to the most beneficial ways to use the content that we can create to help them, you know. And so what we were able to do is help them build their fan base, build their page up more. We didn't do anything about that. It's all them. But they told us that it helped build more engagement, that a lot of the 360 videos were getting 10 times more views and more interaction and more engagement. They've always shown so much love, and we cannot thank them enough for it. They've always shown love, will always show love, and anything that we ever ask from them, they're the first ones to pick up the phone and do whatever we need. Like they're amazing people. They are amazing people. And I really am very passionate about Big Cat Rescue and got a lot of love for them. But it is, I'm just saying, you know, based off of that documentary, this shit's crazy. But at the same time, there's nothing but love here from Virtual Marketing 360. And we look forward to working with them again in the future. And we feel very safe, okay? We feel very safe, and we love what they're doing. And I'll show you a bunch of content. But hopefully, you know, you can see just some of the stuff that we did. We just saw them at Synapse Summit. And they had the truck there. They had like the huge truck there. And they had, of course, a booth there for the trade shows. And they were using VR. And she was actually teaching me something about VR that she's been doing lately, that she just started doing. I was like, that's amazing. That is so cool. And I'll teach that on another video based off of what she taught me. So it's really cool, man. It's really cool. I got nothing but love for Carol. Congrats, because any press is good press, you know, and everybody's going to know your name and everybody's going to know your mission. And once they know the truth, they're going to love you. So, but for us, it's an honor to work with Big Cat Rescue. Again, it's crazy. If you watch the documentary, nothing but love here. Love Big Cat. And that is how Virtual Marketing 360 helped Big Cat Rescue and Carol and Howard use VR in their nonprofit to help them push and build engagement and teach and educate their mission. And we still love them to this day. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that was a cool story. We still talk to them to this day, and got nothing but love. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Just show some love. I would appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. I'll direct you to some of our work. You can check a lot of our work on VR. You can go to their work, go to Big Cat. You can see anything in regards to any of the VR work. We were honored and privileged to help with a lot of it. So have a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday. And holla at your boy, Virtual Marketing 360. Thanks for your time. Hopefully that was cool. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm starting this shit out, you know, so I'm working on my uhs and ums, and I'm looking for the stop button too. So, holla.